Welcome to Knights of the Roundtable. I'm Jerry Middleton, and along with me today, as usual, is Rick Fletcher.
Good morning, Jerry. It's good to be here again. We're back at it.
Well, I watched the broadcast last night, and you found Mark Kirkhoff.
We found Kirkhoff finally. He was there. We were happy to have him there. Knights had a good ball game. They won by almost 40.
Wow.
Probably the best shooting they've done in a long time. So it was really good to see them do that, and on they go. On their season goes.
Well, today for Knights of the Roundtable, a little different.
A little different. It's a special day, actually.
Yes, it is.
Very special day. So today, what we're doing is we're going to do a Damsels drumline Knights of the Round Table. So what will happen is we'll bring in Traci Ross. She's the Damsels, head of the Damsels, and she's going to bring a senior with her, and their season is starting next
Yes.
week. And they have an actual season where they compete for points, and they go on to states, and they do all that kind of stuff. A lot of people don't know that, so we're going to learn about that today. So we'll look forward to that. Also, Thom Crist is coming in, and he's going to bring a senior drum corps member with him, and so we'll talk to them because their season is starting also. And as a matter of fact, right now, they're practicing. As you and I are talking right here, they're practicing. But they'll be here soon, and we'll be able to hook them in and see what's going on with the Damsels and the drumline.
Well, Rick, we've learned a lot this year about wrestling.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
And so forth. So it shouldn't surprise anybody out there that today we are stepping into an area that we know nothing about.
Well, I'm going to say this. So I had a daughter who did both of those things.
Oh, really?
Damsels and drumline.
I did not know that.
Yes. My youngest daughter, she's at Ball State right now, but she did both of those things. So I was one of those parents who helped roll out the mats, helped do those things, set up the drum line and that type of thing. A lot of work. You're traveling to faraway places. This isn't like we're going over to Richmond High School and doing this. We're going to places like Avon and those types of venues, big high schools. So that's where they compete. That's where they're going. So this is going to be a lot of fun, Jerry. We're going to learn a lot. You think you learned a lot about wrestling. You'll learn a lot about what these people, these kids, do for Damsels and drumline, how they prepare, the practice sessions they have to go through. They go through a lot of work. So this will be a very interesting Knights of the Round Table.
Well, we're going to take a quick break and hear from Corey Baker and Brian Maurer, Farm Bureau Insurance, a proud sponsor of Knights of the Round Table. We'll be right back.
For all the things you care about. Farm Bureau Insurance.
Welcome back to Knights of the Round Table. And joining Rick Fletcher and myself now is Drum Corps Anna Day and also the instructor, Mr. Thom Crist. Glad you could be here this morning.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so I know a little bit about drum corps, but very little. A lot I know about is just a lot of equipment you have to drag with you as you go to these competitions. All right, first of all, Thom, I want to ask you, what is your actual title? Director or?
Yeah, so I'm the director of the indoor percussion.
Okay, director of indoor percussion. Has your season started yet, or when does it start?
It has started. We started in October.
Okay.
Really basic kind of technical stuff and lots of music work in that time. And then starting in December and January, we start actually learning some of the movements as well, what we call drill.
Okay, and when does your competition start?
Our first one is February 12th.
All right, so that's coming up right around the corner.
Absolutely.
And these things aren't like at Richmond High School or Hagerstown or Northeastern. Where do you guys go? You're in some big venues.
Right. So most of the time we're in some more centralized Indiana kind of schools. Think things like Avon, Center Grove, Ben Davis, some of those larger schools that can house 30, 40, and some odd drumline groups to come out.
So I have to confess, I've been a parent on the bus. And those are long rides on those buses. Let
Oh,
me tell you,
yes.
these aren't the luxury liners that that they take people to. We're using a school bus, and it hurts.
Oh, yes.
There's no luxury in a school bus.
None at all. I can confess to that, and I will tell you
I
that.
find that hard to believe.
All right, so Anna, tell us a little. You're a senior this year.
Yes.
How long you been doing drum corps?
I think this is my 9th season.
Ninth
Maybe?
season. So you've been
9th or
doing
10th.
so you started in the younger grades.
Yeah.
And you've been doing right along.
Yes.
So I've seen your instrument, but tell us about what instrument you play.
So I play marimba. I'm center marimba.
What is that again?
It's a keyboard instrument.
Keyboard is
Yes,
okay.
very big. And I have another senior on that with me.
Okay.
It's usually about 2 of us with the rest of the front ensemble.
All right, so I noticed there's things that I've picked up over the years that you have a lot of rhythm with what you have to
Yes.
do, okay? So you're to the beat of the thing.
Yes.
That would leave us out of the.
Yeah, we're definitely we're not going to try to do that here, Jerry, okay? So
I want to flip a gun.
well, that will be Damsels,
Okay,
okay?
Damsels,
So, and don't try this at home, okay? Anna, so how many students do you guys have participating
I
typically?
think we have 30 this year?
Between 20 and 30
Yeah.
most of the time.
All right. So there's a class. There's classes. Tell us about the format and the classes and where you guys are.
So we are in B class.
Okay.
And in the past we've been in A class, and they go up. So B, A, open, and then world.
Okay. And the higher up, the more experienced, or the
More people, more money.
Yeah, more money.
Bigger schools typically.
And Jerry and I were talking earlier about how much it takes for football money. Hey, same thing for music
Yeah,
and band and that.
absolutely.
It's a lot about money.
Yep, our budget's usually around $20,000
All right.
for the season.
And
so.
plus you guys are raising money. And so are you raising money right now, Anna? Is there something that you have to sell or?
As of right now, we don't have anything going.
Oh, phew. As a parent, I can say, whoa, those are things I don't miss. You
But
know?
I'm sure there's stuff lined up soon.
Yeah, it's constantly raising money.
Oh, yes.
Because your budget's not enough as far as what the school can provide. you.
Exactly.
So, the instrument that you play, now, is it one that has a stick with the little ball on the end of it?
Yes, they're called mallets.
They're called mallets. All right.
We use 4 of them,
let's
so
see
2
what-
in each hand.
We're 2 in each hand?
Yes.
So you're actually hitting 4
Yeah.
At
4
a
notes,
time.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty
Try
neat.
that at home, Jerry.
Now-
I'll tell you what.
Now, do we toss them up in the air and catch them?
No.
We don't? Okay.
Little above that.
Okay, I just was checking. I think that would add something to it, you
Right,
know.
right.
You juggle them, like yeah, I'm just saying.
So it's not just playing the instruments, it's also dance movements and things
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, do you go up like into the open world class? You should see some of the routines they do.
Oh, yeah.
I actually can remember seeing, we were class A, smaller schools and that type of thing, and then I saw those higher, like the open class and the world class. Wow, that's what it's supposed to look like. So that's the goal, right, Anna?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so
great.
Anna, you're a senior,
Yes.
which means what are you doing in the future? Do you know what your future
So
plans
I'm
are?
preparing for music school right now.
Okay.
I want to go into music education.
All right, that's good. And so you want to go to college?
Yes.
Do you know where you're going?
Right now, my number 1 school is Indiana Wesleyan.
Okay, that's a good school.
I
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they have a good program there.
yeah.
Also, you're a cheerleader this
Yes.
year. I mean, there you are. I saw you out there. This is your first year as a cheerleader, or you've done it before?
I did it all of middle school, all of elementary. It's just my first
right.
year of high school.
All right. So how's that going?
It's going great. I'm just very busy, you know.
I was going to say
Between-
you got practices going on, and you guys practice. How often do you get together?
2 to 3 nights a week.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
if there's a competition, will you do more or?
We usually do 2 nights for the competition weeks, and then
Yeah.
that Saturday competition we'll spend, most of
Another
the day.
practice.
Exactly.
Basically, you're practicing there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you are busy.
Yes, very busy.
All right, there's gonna probably be a time where you have to decide whether to go to a competition or a basketball game.
absolutely,
So
but-
there's always those decisions that go along
Oh,
with
yeah.
that. So, well, I would encourage. You're always looking for students, right? Who have an
yes.
interest, right?
Absolutely.
And if you're especially like in an elementary, junior high. do you have to know how to play the instrument, or is that something they can learn?
We definitely have kids that come in that have no musical background at all, and we get them ready to go just like everybody else. Obviously, it's great to join band ahead of time and
Right.
kind of at least learn some musical elements from that. But we can take pretty much anybody. We're happy to do it.
I notice in band, you got summer band. You've got drum corps, which is a segment of that, and then
Right.
you've got the pep band that was at the basketball game last night. That's seems like another segment of that.
Yep.
All right, so it's not just band and then that's it. I mean, obviously, summer band is a lot,
Right.
You know, because it takes a lot of your whole summer basically.
Right, exactly.
And it's a big thing that the band department does, and it's a lot of fun too.
It is a lot of fun. We definitely have a lot of varied things happening throughout the day. So, if you're not super into the concert band side of things, stick around. You'll be in marching band, you'll be in pep band. It'll be a lot of fun still.
So I've been privileged to go with you guys in the summertime, and
Yes.
it's a lot of fun. Jerry, if you ever done, maybe next summer we'll get Jerry to go with us.
Sounds great.
He can ride the motorhome with us.
I love it.
Here we go. Now we're talking.
I mean, it's an all-day affair.
No
I'm going to
school
tell you
bus
that.
for me.
Yeah,
There
no,
you go.
no, we're not riding the
I did
school.
that this week.
The kids can ride the school
Yeah,
bus, all
there you
right.
go.
But as far I want to sit in the comfy chair if I'm going to ride that.
Exactly.
So.
I'm all for that, the comfy chair. And maybe I can get some mallets and
There you go.
On the way
they'll
down.
put me in.
yeah.
They'll put me into play. I'll be like in the reserves.
Yeah,
sitting
there you
on
go.
the edge, ready to
Yeah.
come into the game.
All right, so Anna, what are your goals for your season coming up? What do you guys see yourself? You want to win? We always want to win.
Obviously.
And in the years that I've been observing, I still don't know how judging happens. Okay, I will say that it's subjective, obviously.
Yes.
But so, what are your goals for your team this year?
Well, our show I think is coming together really well.
Yeah, what's the name of the show?
That's
Oh my goodness, do we have a name?
Redwoods and Daisies.
Redwoods.
All right, okay.
It's very like fallish, very autumnal.
Okay.
And I think I'm very eager to see how we add in a lot of choreography and dancing to that.
Yeah,
And it's just very chill show, very fun.
yeah.
And I hope that that gets us pretty far because it has in the past.
Yeah, I tell you what, the dancing and the choreography adds. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
my goodness, just adds a lot to the show.
Oh,
so, again, Jerry, that's not something we're going to do at home. Okay, we're not going
So I
to.
could throw my back out and be done.
All right. So, any final thoughts for Anna and Thom?
No, this is pretty interesting, and until this year, we talked wrestling.
Yeah.
Rick and me,
We don't know anything.
We didn't know anything, but we've done some wrestling meets, and it's really interesting. And I hear the drum line at night when
Oh, yeah.
we got games going. I'm supervising, but I think this might be something I just might go to see what it is.
I would encourage, if you're watching this right now, yes, the venues are quite far away, okay? And we'll have Damsels on next, and it's the
Right.
same thing for them. But you ought to go see a show. Not just to see our kids, but see all the bands and the talent that goes on there. And when you see those open and world bands, you would be amazed at the shows they put on. It's fantastic. So,
Well-
yeah, I would encourage you to go. Take your car. Don't take the school bus. Unless you want to drive the school bus.
I'll take the short bus.
Take the short bus. And if you're watching this right now, you can talk to Anna or you can talk to Thom, and they'll give you a schedule of where things are going on. It would be great if we could get a chair block there. Wouldn't it be
Absolutely.
great if you had a chair block
Absolutely.
there?
Absolutely.
I mean, we've talked a lot about
Yeah.
chair block this year in our Nights of the Round Table. If you had a chair block there and with no decorum and they don't care what, I would think that would be awesome because we could set them up right next to the judges.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I think the judges are influenced by sound and
Absolutely.
loud noise. So, hey, I'm putting the challenges out to you guys in the cheer block. Get a hold of these guys and find out where you can go. Even if you can just do it once and send different cheer
yeah.
blocks down,
yeah.
that would be awesome. Plus, you're supporting the kids and the things that they're doing.
The more
So-
energy we have in the crowd, the better we perform.
It's just like anything,
Yep.
just like
Yeah.
any basketball
Exactly.
game or football
Absolutely.
game. The crowd generates energy,
Yeah.
and cheer block generates energy. So there it is, you guys in the cheer block. You're being putting on notice right now. So.
Well, I think it's a wrap here for the drum line this morning. We appreciate Thom and Anna coming in and spending a little time with us and educating the uneducated here on what a
Now we
mallet
know what
is.
those mallets are.
The stick, a little balled in there. It's a mallet. All right, so we know that now. So, once again, thanks. We'll be back with the Damsels right after these messages from our proud sponsor, Farm Bureau Insurance, Brian Maurer, and Corey Baker, agents.
For all the things you care about. Farm Bureau Insurance.
Welcome back to Knights of the Round Table, and joining us now is Ashton Baker, damsel extraordinaire, and
That's an accurate description, by the way. I want to tell you that.
and Traci Ross, who's the director. I guess director is the word we want to use.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having us.
So this is, I've been looking forward to this for a while, right? So you know I have a soft spot in my heart for
course,
damsels,
of course.
okay? And I want to see you guys do well. So Traci, you guys have been working hard. Your season starts soon. When do you guys get going?
We have 2 weeks. February 5th is our
Okay.
first show.
And where's that going to
Yeah,
be?
it is at Anderson. So
Anderson?
not too far away.
That's as close
Not
as
too
it's
far
been
away.
as far as I've been,
yeah.
knowing about damsels. So damsels, you guys work all year round, practically.
Pretty much,
It's not just you got summer band that you participate
Right,
in.
right.
Then after summer, you take a little break probably, and
Yeah,
then
kind of break through the to the fall and kind of do some fun stuff.
yeah.
Dance a little bit.
But now we're getting into some serious stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
your season's starting. So, Ashton, you've been a damsel for, I know, at least since 8th grade. You've been
Yes.
on the, I don't know, is it the high school damsel team or the
Yes.
varsity damsel? So, what attracted you to damsels?
I remember going to a camp when I was in like first grade.
Okay,
And
wow.
I always had my heart set that no matter what sport I was doing, all the way up to 8th grade, that I was going to be a damsel.
All right.
So I had my heart set on there because I went to every single camp because that's what
So
I wanted to do.
you've loved it since day one, then,
Yes,
right?
of
Yes.
course.
I noticed you guys did have a camp for the younger kids, and there was a lot of girls there. I mean, I was shocked at how many. Like, you probably had like 70 or 75
that's
kids there.
Pretty close, yeah.
And so you guys, the damsels, the actual damsels, you run that thing. You help instruct
Yes.
and do that thing.
Yes.
And is it your goal to get them interested so they follow through? I would think that's part of it, right?
It helps a lot to get people like drawn in, but it's also very fun to kind of show everybody like the ways to go and
Yeah.
dance and how we work and how you can work for it.
All right. So how many seniors do you have on your squad this
3.
year? 3 seniors. And who are they? Tell us who they are.
Ashton Baker, obviously.
Ashton, yeah.
Michaelan Cummins and
Michaelan's
Alex
been
Waite.
around for quite a while
Yes.
too.
Yes.
And who was the
Yes.
last one?
Alex Waite.
Okay. All right. So in your, just like we talked to Thom and you guys heard that there's classes in damsels also. So what is it's not damsels, it's called color guard.
Color
right?
guard.
Yeah, that's what damsels, what's what we call it.
Yes.
All right, that's
Right.
our color guard is the damsels. That's a trade name, right?
Yes, school name.
So how many classes are there and what class are you guys in?
There are a couple classes below us. We're Class A,
Okay.
which is a class of achievement.
Okay.
And then there's an open class, which is a little bit more skilled. And then there's world class, who are very skilled. I mean, they're practicing hours.
Yeah, and I've been
Hours.
to quite a few damsel events over the years, and you get some of those world class and or open or whatever that is.
Yeah.
They're just tremendous shows.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
We are pretty, I mean, our skill level is pretty much A, open. We kind of throw some open skills in there. Occasionally we'll have a little bit of a world class type
Right.
of thing going on in maybe a part, but the open class and A aren't really too far apart, but when you start getting into World, and even with Open, they have so much more rehearsal time than what we do. And we rehearse quite a bit, but theirs is like
And probably a little more
hours above
bigger
us.
budget too, is
Yes, bigger budgets. Absolutely.
So some of the schools you compete against are, tell Carmel. I know Carmel. I always see Carmel there. They're always competitive. Of course, they're
Carmel's
going to
they got an A guard and a World guard.
Okay.
Mount Vernon is a big school. They have an A guard.
Yeah.
Avon has an A guard and a World guard.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they have so many students, and so a lot of big schools in our class.
Well, I know in Mount Vernon, our former damsel Kayla Fisher
Yes.
used to work with them. I
Yes.
don't know if she still does. But
I don't think Kayla's with them presently, but yes, she
has in the past.
She was on their staff. Yeah.
Well, she's got a sister and now is a damsel. That's on your
actually, she's no longer a damsel. But she was.
She was
yes.
a damsel.
Yes.
Okay. So what are you looking for competitive wise? You want to win, right?
Well,
Of course.
All right. So
Absolutely.
again, judging is subjective.
very.
I still don't know how they score because you always think. Of course, I'm biased, right? You always think
Right.
You're a homer, Rick.
I'm a homer. There's no doubt about it because you want your teams to do well. But where do you think you fall as far as competitiveness? As far as going up the ladder here, as placing in
Yeah.
your class?
We're a really strong Class A guard. I mean, we've,
Okay.
4 or 5 years ago, we, were a tenth of a point away from being state champs in our class. We're generally in the top 5, generally make finals.
Okay.
So I think that we are pretty strong. Right now, we're kind of refocusing and regearing a little bit. We're pretty young this year, but we've, like everybody else in the state, have really had a lot of issues with the COVID situation
Yeah,
and attendance
absolutely.
and,
Yeah.
being able to get our show together and just, lots of things that everybody's dealing with right now. So, we just feel fortunate that, we can continue to keep the kids going and give them opportunities to perform and maybe not set our sights so much on where we end up in the big picture, but just the opportunities to give the kids out there and let them get better and perform. So,
Now, here's my question.
yeah.
Now, we have people that wave flags, people
Right.
who toss guns, and is there a third?
Yeah.
Saber.
Yep.
Saber.
And
Sword.
swords,
sword.
and swords. See,
Don't try it at home, Jerry. Notice they didn't bring any of the weapons with them.
3 of those things could be potentially dangerous to me.
We were going to bring you guys a rifle, and we just finished up with rehearsal, so we ran out and put the rifles away, and I forgot
So-
the rifle.
So, how do you determine who's flag, who's saber, and who's gun?
That can be tough. Typically, most girls will spend a year in flag line, learning just kind of because you're learning everything. And flags are difficult. They're 6 feet. A lot of great work. They're beautiful. That's where your color comes from. Your weapons are more demanding, quicker hands, a lot more just technical things. It's also scary. So you have to have a lot of confidence. You have to have a lot of willpower. A lot of staying power. You have to just work at it. It's not something that happens overnight. And a lot of kids want to do things quick, and if they don't get
Yeah.
it, they don't want to keep with it. And weapons are one of those things that you have to stay with, and you have to make mistakes. You have to fail to learn, and that's the way it is.
So,
And
Ashton, which one are you?
I am a rifle and a saber. I
You're
am
a
weapon
rifle
line.
and a saber.
Yes.
And you've been doing that for quite a while.
Yes.
Probably at least since freshman or sophomore year,
Yes.
I think. Is that right? So what you'll find is, Jerry, if you go to a competition, those rifles fly through the air.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, literally fly through the air, and they're not light things. There's some, they're coming down like a missile, so.
At Fort Wayne Concordia High School, they used to have an ROTC program there. And I don't know if they still do or not, but before the basketball games, they would come out, be 5 of them out there, and they would do a rifle toss back and forth and all that, and it was really cool. And then as they introduced the starting lineup, they'd shoot.
Oh.
They're not using live wire.
Ours are not loaded. kid. We don't have any place for bullets. Or
but that's what they did, and it
That's
was,
cool.
and people poured in to see that. And then as soon as that was over, they'd go out and get their popcorn and stuff like that, but they wanted to be there for that. So, have you had any type of accidents with your tossing a gun in the air and it coming down and landing on your toe?
I've had it hit my toe, my head. I actually got a concussion
It can be dangerous.
from it hitting my head, but it hits everywhere. I have bruises probably everywhere on my body because of how much, you have to catch it and move, and weird places you have to catch it.
broken fingers.
Yes.
We get a lot of jammed and broken fingers.
Over the summer, we suffered with all sprained thumbs, so both of my thumbs were sprained, but you gotta go
You want
see.
to try it now, Jerry? Are you interested in trying out for the Damsels?
I mean, really, this is interesting for people that's going to watch this.
Yeah,
because,
absolutely.
Because you go and you watch the halftime show, all right, and you see the guns go up in the air and the catch and all that stuff there. But you don't think about what happens behind the scenes getting to that point of the bangs and the bruises and the cuts and the, and stuff like that. It happens. And to me, it's very interesting because I sat up here, we watched it when you guys did your show the other day. We're up there and, the guns go up and it's, it's precision and it's really fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable.
It's
Well,
enjoyable.
Well, what you see, and I'll make a comment here, is flags when the wind's blowing. Oh my goodness gracious! I've seen those flags just fly off, and so you got to take that into account.
Hard
You
to
wouldn't
control.
think that, here you are, you're a dance team, and that type of thing. You got to put which way's the wind blowing when they're in an outdoor competition.
You have to push through the
that
elements.
Summertime, and all your competitions in the summer are all outdoors
Yep.
when you're doing those things. So, so parents, you have a lot of parental involvement because
Yep.
you can't run a show without because there's a lot of equipment that you guys,
Yeah.
depending on the show. So, talk a little bit about what the parents do and what are we doing there?
I know our parents do a lot. They help us set things up, on the floor, get on and off the floor. We only have so much time to do that. They make sure the kids are fed before we take off
Yeah.
for competitions. They come in and help tape props, build props,
Lot of
take
construction
flags,
going
yeah,
on.
lots of things. There's always a lot of stuff, logistical things behind the scenes that have to happen, and
So money's another thing. You can always
Yeah.
use more cash, right? You're
Always.
always raising
Always.
money. So if you've got an extra
Yeah.
whatever laying around, see Ashton or see Traci because they can
Yeah.
put it to work.
We will use it.
Yeah, so there's that right there.
Yeah, we
So-
like Thom. We have about a $25,000 budget, and that's the low end of the spectrum
Yeah.
compared to what a lot of schools are spending.
Yeah, I bet
on
you a
their
place
shows.
like Carmel, I don't know what their budget is,
No.
but I bet you it's a lot. So
Yes.
Yeah.
we could do a lot with their budget.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so-
Yeah, take part of it.
oh, so this has been fun, right? We've
Well,
learned a lot.
it's now. Excuse me. Now, are the flags just called flags?
Silks,
Silks.
Silks.
Okay.
Yep.
And the guns are just called
Rifles.
rifles, and the sabers are just called sabers or swords. So there's no special names like mallets.
Those are the special names.
I like to stick with
No.
fuzzy ball on it.
no.
So, love to see you get a cheer block up. We talked about that
Yeah.
with Thom and Anna about getting a cheer block. That energy you can get with the crowd,
Yeah,
right?
oh, yeah.
That
Oh,
happens
yeah.
in Damsels too. So, hey, cheer block again. I'm going to call you out. Talk to Ashton or Traci, find out where they're at, and you ought to get up a team to go down there and just to harass the judges. That'll be a lot of fun to see. So.
Yeah,
And
we're
our
working
cheer
that.
block can harass.
Yeah,
They can
yes,
harass.
we've seen them. Yeah.
Yes, they
That's great.
can do
That's
that,
great.
and they're getting a reputation of being up there and being fun.
So
No, I think that's awesome.
I want to wish you guys the best for your season.
Thank
You'll
you.
have to let us know how you did, all right? So
will.
you've got my number. You can text me the
Yeah.
results, and we'll talk about that on our
Yeah,
night lines,
absolutely.
how the Damsels
Yeah,
did.
well, we're gonna get part of that show on the floor here at a basketball game, senior night, whatever night that is. It's the 25th.
Yeah.
of February, is that
25th,
right?
last day.
So we are not going to have our whole show done. We're kind of moving slow right now, but we are going to get at least the first piece of it. It's really fun. It's a lot different than anything that we've ever done
Your,
for
your
competition.
show
so-
gets better as the season progresses because you're
Yeah.
adding more stuff and you're changing
Right.
things up. Just like anything else, you're
Yeah.
practicing more.
Yeah.
So.
But it's a really cute show based on the 70s. And
Oh, what is the name of your show,
Oh,
by
yeah.
the way?
Living in the past.
All right.
Yeah.
So 70s
Yeah.
as far as disco.
yeah.
All right, that's my era, by the way, Tracy. So
Yes.
that's close to my heart.
I
you know?
may
You
have
guys
to
will
break
like it.
out my powder blue leisure suit
Yeah,
with big bell
absolutely.
bottoms on them.
We're using some Jethro Tull music.
Oh, there you go.
So-
Good.
Yeah, check it out. It's
Energy.
Well,
lot of
that'll be a
energy.
great show. I can't
So
wait
fun.
to see it. So,
Fun.
hey, good luck to you
Thank you.
guys, and
Thank
we're
you.
glad you came.
Thanks for having us.
you.
And thanks for not bringing the rifles because we didn't want to have to embarrass ourselves.
Bring them next time.
I just want you to know one thing. When we videoed your show, or when you had your camp,
Yeah.
we videoed it.
Yes.
And we published it, and so
Yeah.
forth. And I got a note from YouTube saying that we did not have permission for that music. And I was like, great. So that's the only yellow caution that I have received was from Damsels. Just letting you know.
Yeah, you got to watch us. I mean, we try to push all the buttons, But we generally, when we post something on Facebook, we always have to put in there, we did not have the rights to blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, or the copyright, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then
You girls,
we're in
I'm telling
trouble all
you,
the time.
stressing it to the limit.
There's always somebody with a cell phone there that's,
Yeah.
or an iPad that's posting it on
Right.
Facebook,
Oh,
so you can
Oh,
always
yeah.
catch a show.
Yeah.
So
Parents like to broadcast that stuff.
absolutely, and you guys have Facebook page, Twitter page,
yep.
so they can look you up and find all the information right there.
Instagram.
Instagram, stuff I
We're
don't
just
even know how to
everywhere.
work. So.
We're just everywhere.
Well, with that being said,
Yes.
we'd like to thank again Ashton Baker and Traci Ross coming in representing the Damsels today. And for Rick Fletcher, I'm Jerry Middleton, and you know what? It's been another good night.
All right.